we go.
Hi.
Hey, Jay.
Hi.
Hey, Jay. Hi.
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 Hi. Hi.
This is madness. This is.
Mommy and Daddy are yelling again.
What's an Eiffel Tower, stupid?
Playing with my kids.
No, fuck your opening.
This bunghole bunny.
It's really a bad idea not to talk about those things and not to really have some kind of dialogue about what's going on.
Yeah.
What letter shall we talk about?
Hi, and welcome to Poking with the Stick podcast for December 16th, 2017. We were just talking about Jim's pear tree.
Yeah. You got a partridge in that, Jimmy?
You were doing partridges in it.
Oh.
No, we were shopping around for I don't know. We were shopping around with all the trees gone. I said, "Oh, let's get a tree. I want a pear tree." Gavin's like, "There's only one thing about a pear tree," and I'm like, "About a pear tree." And I said, "What?" He's like, "Digging a hole."
Yeah, and I was not about to do it.
I'm not about to tell you either. So I figured we are not getting a pear tree.
Oh, David's here. Hi, David.
Hi.
Oh, hi, David.
Howdy.
Hi,
Hi.
David.
Now this week I had no problem with everybody's name coming up. I have no idea why, but what the fuck? I started writing everybody's email addresses down just in case. So.
Yeah. I
What?
thought you added me to the call, but it's for some reason I still have to actually join the call.
Yeah, I do too.
Copy me.
I
I don't
do
know if
too,
it's
yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah.
This way you have the option of not joining.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
what if
right.
you're naked?
And it's like if you feel offended that Gavin has called you, you can just
I am not going to subject you guys to the image of me naked. So
Why not?
just no.
Okay, so bunghole.
I have a question for Toppy. I think I asked you this last week, but I have to ask you again.
yeah.
I don't remember the answer. Are you doing the New Year's? What do you do? Like testicle droppings or something?
Oh, you're speaking of the thing that I do for my workplace,
Correct.
where I have to travel from my home on New Year's Eve at about 11:30 at night. I travel to my workplace, where I arrive just in time for the stroke of midnight, where I push a switch which turns a light out and turns a light on. And we have these towers on top of the hill. And of course, Peckle Howell's nothing but hills. And you can see these towers from far and wide. And what we have on these towers is the last digits of the year. So it's got 17. At the stroke of midnight, it turns to 18. And that's how we get our jollies in Peckle Hollow.
There you go.
Great.
Now in our town, everybody goes out.
Awesome.
In our town, everybody goes out and shoots guns up in the air.
Ah.
I have no idea why, but they do.
No, they don't do that here.
Welcome to South Jersey.
But for
Everyone
that,
here does fireworks.
oh yeah, oh everybody, yeah, fireworks is a popular thing on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm
at least they
surprised
stopped
we
throwing.
actually- Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just to say, at least they stopped throwing the hubcaps.
No, there's that.
I don't know.
No, I'm surprised actually. I haven't heard any already because usually they start way early. Like it's actually considered illegal in Michigan to sell them before so many days before like New Year's or 4th of July, but mysteriously people still are getting fireworks and they're not supposed to be setting them off except for like I think it's 2 or 3 days before and 2 or 3 days after. You'll hear them for a damn week.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Everybody traveling from the south.
here in Jersey, it's really hard to get fireworks, but
Yeah.
all you have to do is drive over the border to Pennsylvania
No, I thought it was. I
or,
thought
or Delaware or
Delaware. I think.
Yeah. Well, no, Pennsylvania has a couple stores too, right? Literally across the river. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
That,
see, for us, it has to be
and technically-
Indiana or Ohio.
Technically, they're not supposed to sell them to people from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a law,
Mhm.
but their only requirement is to ask.
We act stupid like we're from
You say, you know,
must have been.
or have a sign behind the counter that says we are not allowed to sell it to New Jersey.
Oh,
Everybody
God,
fully
somebody-
support it. Well, it's like,
So
I
it
mean,
doesn't have an ID or anything like that.
yeah, that's like where we live. We're like maybe 20 minutes from Delaware
Mhm.
border. So we could just drive there and avoid any sales tax for large ticket items.
Mhm.
Yeah, can you imagine us with fireworks in the car?
And then our income tax returns say, "Did you buy any large ticket items from other states?" And of course, who's going to put yes? You know?
Yeah, Michigan has a use tax, which is basically sales tax on anything that you bought outside of Michigan, especially like online, and it's the same rate, 6%, and it's on your income tax form that. You like if you didn't itemize things, they'll just calculate it for you based on a table, based on I think it's on your adjusted gross income, and it's always like $100 or something like that.
Wow.
What if you don't actually buy anything outside the state?
Well, you have to put on there that you didn't actually buy that, and how they would ever actually verify that you didn't, I don't know. It's always this thing of, now, if you're audited and you're caught lying, how are they going to know?
Yeah, if you're audited and you're caught lying, then you just pay the tax. Like, that's
The thing is, I'm thinking, you know, things like that are not going to have much of a difference. Like if you buy a stove or you buy something,
a stove
or something. But if you go and you buy, I don't know, 15 racehorses at $1 million a piece at another state.
Yeah.
You know, that's when it counts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does
the
count.
auditors they're looking for.
It does count if you go, like, say you go and buy, you know, say 10 years ago, if you would have gone and bought a computer, like computers were like $1,000 then.
No.
Right.
So you're talking about $70, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe a big flat screen TV and, you know, like that kind of thing.
This is the weekend before Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
And this basically was
I really
done.
don't want to talk about that.
It was kind of economic protectionism thing because people, you know, were buying on Amazon or other websites, and because Amazon only has maybe one brick or mortar store in the entire country, they couldn't make them charge sales tax in most of the states because there's something in Michigan law that if you have a brick and mortar store anywhere in the state, you have to charge sales tax on the purchases.
Yeah. Now listen, if I ever need brick and mortar, I'm going to a brick and mortar store.
There you go.
Know it.
You know,
Home Depot.
Poor Toppy.
How was your colonoscopy?
Yeah.
It's called
Before I tell my colonoscopy story, let's say hello because Scotty, the little Aussie battler's here. Hi, Scotty. And I believe that's Han Cub. Hi, Haunty. And who else is there? Is Clark Griswold one of you guys?
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Who's Aunt Bethany?
Me.
Oh. And then we've got veritable Virgo. It's good to see him here.
Okay, I'm posting something real quick for Scotty. I want you to save this in so that you can tell what time of the day it is here.
Oh,
because he seems to have a problem with figuring out when I'm doing my show.
He's always here, though.
I know. I'm just. I think he does it purposely because he always does it every week. So I think he's just joking.
You know, Jimmy, you're saying that you guys, you know, the trick is to act stupid when they ask if you bought something from out of state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that were the case where I shop. I don't know about the rest of you, but it just gets on my nerves when I'm shopping with somebody else and they're buying cigarettes or alcohol, and I get carded because I'm part of that same party. It's like, I think I'm an adult, and if I'm not the one buying, what does it matter?
They actually card you just because you're there?
Yeah. Have you had this, Toppy?
I've lost you.
Like if you're going to a store with someone else and they're the one who's buying cigarettes or alcohol.
Okay, now I know exactly what you're saying. Yes, they look at all of your IDs, not just the person that's buying, but if you seem to be in a group, then you all have to have the appropriate ID.
Oh, so if you just said,
Yeah.
"I'll go wait for you outside," they wouldn't card you.
Well, if you did that out of notice of the cash register guy, yeah, that'd be, you know.
That's weird. That's bizarre to me. I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it, but
Yeah.
let's face it. If I was buying alcohol, which I would never do, for an underage person, I would not want them in line with me while I'm doing it. I would tell them to wait outside.
You know what I do? I get frustrated with the cashier because I think it's ridiculous. Obviously, the person who's buying it is of age because they have an ID to show. But if I'm in that line, I'm not going to dig out my wallet. I'm going to go sit down at the bench they have in the front. I'd be like, you can just pick me up when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Excuse
Well,
me.
that's the thing. I mean, I like our ShopRite, our grocery store.
ShopRite.
Yeah, that's where we buy. That's where I buy like my vodka. They have to scan. They have to scan your photo ID, the little thing on the back of it, before they're allowed to ring up your alcohol.
You mean a photo?
So I'm 57 years old. I'm getting carded. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's normal here in New York State, Gavin. That's normal. I mean, listen, I am gray. I have a gray beard. I have gray hair and not much of it. And I am carded.
yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with that. But if I was standing in line and Jim was buying alcohol and they wanted to card me, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Right.
I would just find that annoying.
I don't know. I guess I maybe could see the alcohol part because you could be serving a minor, but cigarettes, okay, come on. I don't smoke. And if they are going to give me a hard time about me not wanting to show my ID, I'm going to say, look, my mother died from lung cancer and I'm not a smoker. I'm not going to show you my effing ID.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Yeah.
I get the impression that
No.
what is the federal statute on smoking? It's 18, right?
I believe so.
Well,
No, actually, well, federal. Okay, federal. Maybe 18. Here in Tompkins County, Tompkins County, where Pickle Hollow is, they just decided we're going to raise it to 21.
They did here in Jersey too in November.
Yeah,
I just noticed
For
this
alcohol or cigarettes?
cigarettes.
Oh,
And actually, New York State is 21 for alcohol.
And honestly, had I totally get it, because had I not been able to smoke prior to being 21, I probably wouldn't have, even though I started when I was 14 and I wasn't legal anyway. But this is back when they had vending machines. So like I would just buy my cigarettes at a vending machine.
Right. When's the last time you saw a cigarette vending machine?
The bike stop in Philadelphia still has one. I don't think it works.
What?
I don't think it works, but it's still there.
Oh, it doesn't work.
Hey, Gavin, do you have the breaking news sound effect?
Me too.
Or anything from like our research department or anything like that? Because we have an answer in the chat room. Okay. A person must be 18 years old to purchase or to smoke cigarettes, including any tobacco products, as is indicated in public health (parentheses restrictions on tobacco products) (parentheses regulations 1999 section 2EI). It is illegal to sell or supply tobacco to a minor. No minimum age prior to April 14th, 2010. But each state can make their own laws above and beyond the federal. From Veritable Virgo. And that is the update from our research department.
So technically it's 18 federally, but states raised it to 21, which I totally get. Because now it's virtually impossible to buy cigarettes by yourself if you're not of age. You know what I mean? You can get other people to buy them for.
Listen, and this comes from a smoker, kids. If there was a way the world could just agree that you cannot smoke any longer, I'd support it.
I would too.
It's a horrible, horrible thing. And anyways,
Well, the kids have moved on anyways. It's it's cartoonish now. They have their vaping machines, and it's like they've figured out a way to smoke Lucky Charms. Everything smells like purple exhaust.
Yes.
Wait. I actually have a bottle of Lucky Charms vaping.
Oh
No.
Yes. Go ahead, talk.
And please to describe, Gavin, the experience of vaping Lucky Charms oil. What's it like?
Yeah. Oh, he's not going to smell them.
I say it was funny as I passed by one of the guys I work with who vapes, and he was refilling his oil, and I think that was Midnight Kiss or something like that, and it looked almost like a Poppers bottle.
Right.
What? A douche?
It looked like a Poppers bottle pouring out of, and I went, Midnight Kiss? What the hell? And he told me it was his vape oil or whatever that stuff.
You know, if you look at the very bottom of the bottle,
Yeah.
it says Lucky Charms.
Do you pick out all the marshmallows?
It does. One of the guys at work had bought it, and he didn't care for it, so he gave it to me. It's how many milligrams of nicotine?
Hey, Jim, what can I pay you to switch that out with Fabulosa?
Oh, that's why I didn't use it. It's 30 milligrams. That's way high.
As far as vaping goes,
you know what? These dusters, keyboard dusters, take a deep whiff of those.
What?
Oh yeah,
Jimmy,
they'll make you feel good.
Jim does not care for the smell of the vape.
Oh my god!
So I'm guessing tonight's show is going to be called Huff the Magic Dragon.
Oh, wait a minute. The man does poppers and he hates the smell of vape.
Thank Jesus! Someone in the chat room posted porn.
Yay!
Thank you, Hunty.
God, but he's not wrong.
That first picture there.
I did not.
That is a marvelous picture. I don't know who that is, but
I'm
I
offended.
marry him.
I do. I would too.
Dreaming of White Christmas.
So, what are some of the misheard song lyrics you've heard? Anybody?
No. Oh.
I keep getting dropouts from
The only ones I hear is from Jim.
No.
Jim will sing a song. He'll know like 2 words in the song, and the rest of it, and then also like the words will like come shooting out of nowhere, and I'm like, what?
Yes,
it's not easy.
Before the show, David, I was saying to Toppy that I can only imagine the misheard song lyrics in Aunt Tappy's church, especially when the battery in her hearing aid is dying.
I'm getting an I'm getting an echo.
Yeah.
On you.
Yeah, you are. You're getting an echo.
Is Toppy still with us?
I'm still here.
Oh, all right. Were you playing with yourself? Sorry.
But I do agree. Yeah, DJ.
Hi, Jay.
Funny to listen to.
You're a little quiet.
Does that ever happen in your congregation there, David? In my mom's church when I was growing up, there seemed to be at least 1 or 2 of these older ladies that when the choir would hit a certain note, it would make her hearing aid feedback.
Yes.
We actually, we haven't had that happen in the one church. We've actually had that happen in the other church with our piano player. She actually has a hearing aid, and she's gotten a new one recently, and she's still trying to get completely used to it, and it will start feeding back while she's playing. And the problem is she can't hear the feedback.
Oh no!
That's a shame.
And we can hear it, so we're sitting there thinking, Sharon, please, finally somebody will go over and just say your hearing aid is whistling, and she'll turn the volume on it.
David, do you have any of those people in the choir that are basically like tinnier and don't realize they are? Or howlers. Howlers are my favorite.
Howlers?
You think if they get loud, they're actually hitting the note?
Fortunately, no. We it's kind of unfortunate. We had a recent schism happen within our choir for reasons that I don't really want to get into on the show. And it's kind of funny that some of the people who broke off were some of the worst singers. They were far less capable than they thought they were. There was one that she was supposed to be a soprano, and she is at best an alto. And you could hear it when our choir director is like the most generous person in the world. He will give a person chance after chance at solos, whatever. Part of it's just because he's dealing with a small group to begin with. But one in particular, she would do a solo and she would be like this. Pretty much. There was like no breath. She's completely pinched off and there's no breath whatsoever.
When I
Betty was singing to a stoma.
One of my memories from childhood of Christmases and holidays was going to my grandmother's house, and my mother had two sisters. One of them passed.
Yeah. Oh, I've read that story.
And
go ahead.
The three of them would always. My grandmother played piano for the church, so she was an excellent piano player. She literally had a baby grand in one corner of her living room, and an electric organ in the other room side. So she would play, and she would have them stand on the stairway, the three of them, and sing these songs. And do you know how women tend to? Do you ever see women like? They think they're singing right, but they're all doing like a falsetto.
No, we don't have any of that. The only person who sings a falsetto is actually one of our tenors, and he does it for a reason.
Well, these are people that don't realize they're doing it, and it's like three cats howling on a roof.
Yes,
and we would all sit there and like cringe.
Sometimes, yes, when I hear him hit his falsetto. It's a little cringy. It's a little cringeworthy, but
you don't want to hear him. You don't want to hear my falsetto. Hey, Jay the Hunk Cub, are you there?
I am.
Oh, turn your volume up.
I'm not doing anything differently, so I got.
Here, let me see if I can.
I can barely hear you. Maybe Gavin can do something.
No, I can't.
Don't.
Let me try to call back in and see if that makes it.
Okay, that one looks like Jay the Honk Cub.
No, he's here. I can hear him, but he's very
unplugging and plugging back.
One of the porn pictures.
I already tried that.
Oh.
Let me try to. I'll call you right back. I'll call right
back.
Okay.
But it used. It was adorable and cringeworthy at the same time. It was just always. But it's a good memory because it was like this thing. Because you got to remember, like. My sister, it was my mother, her two sisters. They each had two. One had 2 kids. One had 5 kids. The 4 of us. So it was like this gaggle of family. In this house, it was fun.
We have singers that they've sung for many years. I think some of them may have been professionally trained. So we've got good ones. We've got one that. She's kind of realized she's a really gifted soprano, but she's also kind of realizing that her range is beginning to decrease. So she accepts that. I'm the one that I get on this sometimes, and people keep telling me I sound good, and I'm not hearing it. Like I actually had to do a bass solo in a Christmas cantata we did this year. Actually, it was last year was when I did the solo. This year, we're not going to be doing that particular movement of it, and I was scared shitless to do it.
I've known my whole life that I'm a horrible singer. So
no, you're great, Gavin.
But I do it anyway.
See, for me, I've got both my parents are beautiful singers. My dad was in the chorus in high school. My mother never was, but certainly could have been. And I would always think that I was sounding right. And some of this came from my brother. I posted about this last year. And my brother would, when we would sing at church, when we get done, he would just talk about how horrible I sounded. And that does a number on you when you hear it after a while.
I'm gonna shut up.
I would, and then I would get in trouble because I'm older and I know better. Yeah.
Toppy,
Yeah.
tell us about your colonoscopy.
My colonoscopy. I have not had a chance to tell this on my own little
Wait a minute.
cast.
Wait a minute. I think the star on David's tree is making me dizzy.
Oh,
Oh,
watch out for that.
I'm gonna have a stroke.
my
I did. I did have a colonoscopy. It was a couple of years in the making because the first time I botched up the whole preparation process, and then I had to postpone it. But eventually, I rescheduled it, and of course, that if you reschedule a colonoscopy, you're talking about 8 months in the future. So finally, the day came for my colonoscopy, and I don't want it to present myself as heroic in any way. I don't want to present myself as anything more than what I am, a modest, strange person. But folks, I did not use anesthesia for my colonoscopy.
Oh.
I did not let them put me out.
What?
I did not let them put me out for this. I experienced the whole thing in real time, real sensation. And
all the while listening to ABBA in your ears.
They did not put ABBA into my ears. I had nothing, but I had a nurse and the guy directing the thing that went in, and I did it without anesthesia because I'm kind of creeped out. I just have a thing about being put to sleep, and I went through it without any anesthesia.
Wow.
And
I don't
and you're being fisted or what?
No, the thing is probably a little bit bigger than your finger.
Yeah.
Width-wise, it's only a little bit bigger than your finger. You could take it.
The problem is not with
take it in there. Take it, baby.
Yeah, folks. The problem, if you are going to do this procedure without anesthesia, is not the anus. That is not the problem. The problem is when that thing gets way up into the intestine and the cramps that it makes.
The nooks and crannies.
It's why they prefer to put you out.
Yeah.
But I experienced the whole thing with all the pains of this thing snaking around. And listen, the nurse, you don't know this because you're under anesthesia, but the nurse that's helping the guy that snakes the thing in is rolling your abdomen all around.
Yes.
Just to feed this thing in.
Oh, really?
I should try that.
She's physically altering your body to assist the process of this tube going in because your intestines take many twists and turns.
How far do they go?
Oh, all the way, man. And the thing is, the nurse really kind of senses where the thing is in your body and pushes on your belly here and pushes on your belly there. Now I'm awake for the whole thing because I ain't got no anesthesia. And I'm just going, oh, and it is painful, I will tell you, but you can get through it. And if anybody wants to go through this experience, if you are afraid of anesthesia, like I am, I'm here to tell you, you can get through this and it's going to be okay. And you should get, if you are scheduled for a colonoscopy, by God, you should do it. And if you're afraid of anesthesia, fine, don't do it. Like me, listen, I'm
Knock my fucking ass out.
Yeah. Put me under.
I can
Put
do
me
it.
under.
Anybody
Put
can.
me fucking under.
I'm curious now.
I actually saw this. There was an episode of House. Remember the show on Fox where they had to do that to her patient. There was some kind of something going on with her where if they put her under, she would have died. But they also had to do a colonoscopy on her, and they had to do it without anesthesia. And she was like screaming, crying, the whole thing. And I was like, "Yeah, I will take the morphine, whatever you give me, just make sure I don't wake up."
No. See, David, here's the thing.
Was it a woman or just a big old fag?
It was a woman.
Oh.
She never had more than 2 fingers in her life.
All I can say is that it was painful, but it was doable. It was doable.
You don't really have much feeling past Uranus. You know, the cramping and stuff is real.
It was all feelings of pressure. That's what you felt like. You had like
whoa, feeling.
Was it a little bit like when you pick your nose too hard and you get that twitch in your eye?
Yeah.
I just got that.
Anyways, listen, the only reason I bring this up is because if I can do this without anesthesia, when you people have to come and have your colonoscopy, you do it, and sure, get the anesthesia. But even if you don't, listen, I'm a wimp. I got through it. It's no problem.
You know what? I will not have my masculinity or any like that judged by that. It's like, put me the fuck under.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Call me a pussy if you want. I'm sorry. No.
When my time comes that I have to go for this appointment, I'm going to ask the person at the hospital if they know what the toppy smelly special is.
I'm going to feel it.
Yeah, I actually probably probably less than 3 years will have to start that because I'll turn 48 in January. So, yeah.
Did you go for yours yet, Gavin?
No.
I feel you're supposed to. I know my doctor asked me. I think he put a script in for me, and I'm supposed to find somebody to do it. And I'm just like,
I have it. I have the prescription right here. I'm around to it.
Now, Jim, as his long-term spouse, don't you have a say in the matter? You get to pick the doctor that does it.
No.
Yeah.
Jim, you can do it for me.
Yeah, well, I told my doctor. Sure. My friend said,
just get to go.
Tell me I'm doing.
Throw out.
Yeah.
Just don't put this on YouTube.
Wait, I want to get a video. My doctor, he was going to give me a quick check in the back there with his finger and anything.
Oh, I get that.
He was, well, I said, here, can you hold the camera and do it? And he fell out laughing.
Listen, in all seriousness, I want to tell anybody who also has a fear of anesthesia is that all I had to do was tell the doctor in charge of this, hey, I don't dig this whole anesthesia thing. Can I do it without it? And he said, yeah, listen, if that's how you want to go through it, all I want you to know is all you got to do is ask.
If I ask him to spit,
my hat's off to you.
Can he slap me and spit at me and call me?
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm perfectly okay.
No, I mean, listen, if you're a normal person, and I'm not, then you want to have the anesthesia. I'm just saying.
I could see Jim halfway through going, okay, now spit in my mouth.
Right. My
not
question, did they do all of it, the big intestine and the small intestine? Or is it just the big intestine?
Yeah, it was the whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And the interesting thing was I got to watch on camera as the little tiny camera in my intestines traveled through, and I got to watch the whole trip.
Now, did they find any polyps or anything?
Yes, they did.
Did they take them off right there with the camera?
Yes,
the
and I got to watch them zap it. Zap it.
They didn't
And-
take like samples to see.
Yes, they did do that too, Gavin, and I got to watch that. And then I don't know what they cauterized. I don't know what the fuck they did, but it's all done right there. And then,
So you basically had the Mars rover up your butt.
I was going to say R2D2.
now, of course, they study the biopsy, and then you come back and then they tell you, it was fine, and it was a good thing they got rid of it when they did. But maybe in 20 years it would have been a problem. But
yeah.
Toppy, have you ever had to been put under before? Have you ever had the misfortune of having to have surgery?
I have, and
Okay.
and this is at the time it was like, I don't know, 15 years ago, and I didn't have the fear that I have. For whatever reason, I've developed this fear of going under.
Are you
And-
afraid of not waking up?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like,
Waking up in a white slavery
Are
ring?
you afraid of being?
I want to wake up in a white slavery. I love it.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask if you've seen Flatliners one too many times.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
They knocked me out to pull out one of my wisdom teeth. And it was like, okay, okay, Mr. Monte, we want you to start counting backwards from 100. And I think I opened my mouth and I was like, I think I went all the way down to like 88, 87. And I said, I don't think it's working. And he's like, hold on. Right. He's like, okay, try it again. And I went 100 and then boom, out I went. And next thing I know, the nurses tapped me on the shoulder saying, okay, get up. It's time to get up.
I've had that
Yeah.
experience too, Jimmy. I had a long time ago an operation where I was put under, and they did that same thing, and it was fine. I had no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was so fast. It was like, I don't like it when it's that fast. It's kind of like going to the Parliament Resort, when you're
Yeah.
all night, you're drinking in the bar, and next thing you know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what happened?
Monday morning, too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm trying to think. The number of times I've been
Speaking
I would have been 6 when I had tonsillectomy and an adenoidectomy.
Oh,
When I was 12.
The stream dropped. It's back now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now let's see. When I was 12 to have a twisted testicle reversed.
no,
That was fun.
it's one of my favorite.
Maybe
And
just
then to have my wisdom teeth. And I think I don't remember if I was anesthetized.
Wait, David,
maybe the testicle wasn't
let's
twisted.
go
The
back to
testicle
your
was.
twisted testicle.
Okay.
Oh.
That happened because in most men, when their testicles descend, they're supposed to attach to the bottom of the scrotum.
That's what we hope.
That's what's supposed to happen. But
Where'd yours
occasionally,
attach to?
huh?
Were you standing on your head and they went to the top of your head or something?
No, one of my left one didn't attach.
Well,
So
this is a serious problem, folks.
yeah, it really is. I mean,
Did it hurt?
it got twisted around because basically on a camping trip, I was carrying a 5-gallon water bottle by myself, and I must have just bounced around or moved around enough, and probably just underwear wasn't good enough, and it swelled up to about double its size that night.
Oh.
And this didn't happen until sometime after I got home, and it was huge. Like, imagine, when they swell a little bit just before you have sex. More than that.
How
Yeah,
old
it
were you at the
hurts.
time, David?
I was 12 years old.
Okay.
So, well into
That must have
puberty.
been traumatizing.
Vertical.
Imagine the sensation of being kicked, except
Oh,
it doesn't go away. So,
Oh.
Jay, say
I finally-
something. I want to hear if I fix your.
La 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 la.
Yay!
Rah, 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 rah.
And we have a picture of Jay. It looks like a picture of Jay in the chat room that he posted, actually.
I wish you a Merry Christmas.
He wishes.
Yeah, really.
A lot of pictures.
Yeah,
It looks a lot like you.
Oh my God, look at that nice last one. Is that a Storm or Steelers?
I think
No,
that's
what is
maybe
that shirt? It's got the Monroe phone.
Jay's looking nice and trim.
What was that?
Jay's looking nice and trim for the holidays. I saw a picture he recently got his hair's cut.
Yes, I like that. Jay, just a little bit of that trimming goes a long way. It's nice.
The shaggy bum.
Thank you.
Yeah, your beard looks very good, nice and clean now.
Thank you.
It was getting a little scraggly.
It matches your eyebrows.
My eyebrow. Thank you.
You missed the fun earlier. We were talking about vaping, and I said tonight's the night Gavin's going to catch his beard on fire.
That would be my dream come true.
Why, you want to shave my beard?
Eyebrows. So
No,
stop.
shit along the sides of your face.
Oh, yeah. That's just
your armpit, isn't that your armpit?
Yeah.
Hey, for Christmas karaoke, you should put baubles in your beard.
we were trying out all these goofy hats at what was it, Five Below today, and one of them was a beard with all these things hanging off of it.
He had a Christmas tree hat on, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "That's hard. Please don't buy that."
Oh no! I almost buy it. It was so wonderful.
Oh no, God no!
I almost thought Jim said that's hot. Like he's got a Santa Claus fetish.
No. Did you ever see the what is it, the Toronto Modern Santa from the mall? That
No.
Last year. I can find a picture of him.
Ooh, that's hot.
Was that Rasta man?
Excuse me.
That's a hot picture, Toppy.
Thank you. Kind of like it.
Oh. Here, I'll post the for the modern Santa.
I forget who Aunt Bethany is.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah.
Is that Jimmy? Okay, Jimmy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
It's kind of intense.
He does kind of look almost like a leather daddy, but not exactly.
Yeah, I like the traditional Santa story.
Yeah.
Although he can come visit down my chimney.
Right down my chimney tonight.
Sure. Oh, speaking of Gavin, can you reuse our carol from however many years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because we're just not going to have a chance to put together anything for this year, and
yeah, if I don't get a lot of them, I'm just going to replay some old ones.
Okay, cool.
No, that'll be fun.
I think that one was a classic.
Okay.
And I was looking forward to the Pickle Hollow Trio.
Oh, I meant to ask you, Dave. Does Paul sing?
Oh,
he tries.
He tries.
Okay,
He tries.
we'll leave that there.
When you hear the song, I mean, I love him very much. He has so many talents. He's so everything. Singing is not one of them.
Aww.
Where
does he sing? Like in church?
Yes. And when I stand next to
I'm
him,
sure God thinks it's beautiful.
It's like, you know what? He's doing it. He's sincere with it. That's all that matters to me. But I hear him and I think, you're so talented otherwise. And I love you. I mean, it's.
Now, do you know why your balls hurt?
Why?
I had this boyfriend once that he swore he knew how to do, like, he could add harmony to like a church song.
I thought you were going to say blowjob.
I was just like, dude.
I dropped out for a second.
It was just totally not the place for it. He was trying to do harmony. It's like it doesn't work when you're the only one out of 100 people.
I don't know if you stop.
It sounds amazing when it's done right.
Oh yeah, but you're talking about one person out of 100 people. Like,
I don't know. Sometimes if you stop taking the meds, all your personalities can sing together, right?
Well, that's true too. Yes.
Well, there is actually it's a technique that was developed by Tibetan Buddhist monks that they can sing 3 notes simultaneously.
Well,
bored, isn't it?
This guy couldn't.
Okay. Well, I've been able to get 2 going. I've actually been able to get 2 different notes going. But when you hear it, like back in the 90s, Richard Gere, the actor, was sponsoring this one monastery. They were a group of Tibetan Buddhist monks who got exiled to India. And they were going around the country doing their sacred singing and sacred chanting and dance as well. And they would do these multiphonic, they call it multiphonic chanting. And they basically start here in the throat with a note there. They get that note going, then they bring it up into their mouth. Excuse me. And it goes up an octave. And then they bring it up into their nasal cavity and it goes up another octave. So they're singing the same note simultaneously across 3 octaves. And it's the most bizarre yet beautiful sound you've ever heard. If you look it up on YouTube, there's examples of it out there.
I'm happy when I can hit one note. So
right,
like
the chanting that very ages ago used to go on was assisted largely by the acoustics of the large churches that this would be performed in. So it was enhanced spectacularly by the acoustics of the environments they had there. And actually, if you've ever heard anything like this, it's there's nothing like it.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, churches have the best acoustics, but it's kind of annoying when you're speaking.
It depends. Our church, actually the one that we got married in, where I sing in choir now, actually has some really bad acoustics. And that, unfortunately, was because design and aesthetic considerations overrode anything as far as acoustic design.
Oh.
La 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 la.
Yeah. Kind of what happened.
Let's sing my acoustics.
Yeah. Well, our sanctuary is actually T-shaped, and you have the stage basically right here, and there's 2 arms that go out this way. When we sing, the sound goes out this way, but it comes this way. The problem is it's bouncing off those walls and coming back together, and you get this mud of sound.
Oh, it's not
maybe
if everybody turned around.
Well, what happens is if we come to the edge of the platform and sing, then the sound is going out into the audience, and it sounds so much better.
What is that guy, Mel Brooks?
Mel Brooks, yeah,
the comedian.
Yeah,
that's that's like a Mel Brooks. Everybody facing the wall singing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would almost seem rude. I'm just picturing it in my head, like all the hand motions.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I'll have to look for that because I haven't seen that one.
You ought. I mean, seriously, like in practice, you ought to like have them try that just to see how it sounds. I would be curious. I don't mean that sarcastically. I'm really curious.
Jim, I want to put a challenge to the chat room. I know we're a fair amount of the way along here, but I want to see if anyone can find obscene or pornographic images of snow people.
All right, snow people.
What are snow people?
A snowman.
Oh.
I can pretty much tell you what would happen if we faced the wall and sang. we would be completely drowned out by the organ.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I can I get pictures of that if you try it?
Is it a pipe organ or an electric organ?
It's a pipe organ. 500
Oh,
pipe.
then no, yeah, you can't. It's not like you can turn it down. So
No, it's pretty. It's a 500 pipe organ.
That's a big organ.
There's two different banks of pipes. The main bank is right behind us, behind an acoustically transparent grill, and then the other pipes are up in the balcony. And I'm not really sure which instruments they're for. Yeah, if we turn around and sang the other direction, all you'd hear was the organ.
oh, okay.
You wouldn't hear anything else.
You hear my organ. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
God, Toppy. Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what to.
What do you
You
mean?
like it without anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
So what's everybody's plans for Christmas? For Christmas?
Well, I'll
I
just
like
tell
to
you.
spend time with family.
Yeah, briefly, Christmas Eve, I'll have a whole mess of family coming over to my parents' house. I'll have prepared 2 pans of lasagna to feed them all, plus a spinach salad and some fresh baked bread. And then after they feast, all the great grandkids will just have a marvelous time opening their presents, and we'll all enjoy it. So that's what we're looking forward here on my end.
Yeah. Well, my Christmas Eve will be the morning service at the one church, and then their Christmas Eve service will actually be at 7:00 that evening. So basically, it'll just be the one, because the other church is having their Christmas Eve service at the same time as our regular service, so won't be able to be there for that. Christmas Day, probably will spend some time with Paul's parents. We don't know yet what actually, we know he's going to be off. But then the Green Jeans family Christmas is the day after Christmas. They never have anything on Christmas Day. They always have it usually it's been the Saturday after, but at this point that would be into New Year's, which would be kind of insane to try to plan. So we're just going to do it the day after this year. And that's always White Elephant Christmas. And
White Elephant? What is that?
Some people call it the Chinese gift exchange. That's the less polite version of it. Everyone brings a wrapped gift.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone brings a wrapped gift. It usually should not be anything really serious, like go to the dollar store and buy something, or go to Goodwill and buy something. And everyone draws numbers. And when your number comes up, like say you're the first person to draw the number, you go pick up a package.
Mm-hmm.
You unwrap it immediately.
Yeah.
Then the next person has called up, can either steal your present or go grab another one.
Whew.
Oh, see, now we do that, but you can't unwrap it.
Huh?
Yeah.
We do that, but you can't unwrap it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they unwrap because they want to know what you have, but it's a chance of, do I get the cool thing this person has, or maybe there's a cooler thing. And of course, the size of the box has nothing to do, because it could be a ginormous box with a stupid looking brooch in it.
Yeah.
Paul and I ended up getting a juicer last year. Something else. What was it? And we ended up one other present for each of us. We actually ended up going home with another person's present because he had a PSP, and they were trying to keep it away from our 2 youngest nephews because they had Grand Theft Auto as one of the games.
Oh, okay.
And they knew Mom and Dad would not want them to be exposed to Grand Theft Auto at ages 6 and 8.
No.
They already have been. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, let them grow. Let their balls descend right.
No. They're not running over prostitutes for points. And that's
Oh, are you here?
They get enough advice on how to mistreat women from their father.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't need the extra stuff there. let's just say if there's ever a divorce announced in that family, no one's going to be crying.
Was anybody surprised at Amoroso being laid off this week? Or who didn't know? I didn't know.
Laid off.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't know she was in the White House.
I didn't either, actually. Don't feel too bad.
Yeah. So, bye, bye, Felicia.
Reality show White House television thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
what I found the most amusing was the commentators on the networks. Like literally, one of the commentators actually said "Bye, Felicia" at the end.
A few more than one said that. No, the one I liked is the one that you reposted on Facebook or
the
girl.
Girl, bye.
Nene.
No. It was, I forget what her name was.
Rye. Angela Rye.
Yeah.
Comment was.
Bearable Virgo. What did you just post to Tumblr?
She was talking. There was one woman was in the House of Representatives, and another woman was just a like basic pundit, and she was just like, I know you guys can't say this, you know, so I'm just going to say it for y'all. She said,
Yeah.
And she just started laughing, and the other ones are like covering their faces, like, oh, I can't laugh at this. It was good.
Bearable Virgo, that was a very nice image you just posted to Tumblr, and I think you just posted in the chat room also.
So I'll be going out to the haystack to visit with my family, and I'm supposed to pretend that it's okay. My sister has too many people to buy for, so despite the fact that I only have 3 siblings, I'm only allowed to buy for 1 because she bought for too many people.
What?
That and my brother's 5 kids with 3 different women.
That makes no sense.
Your brother's what?
5 kids with 3 different women.
3.
Yeah.
Oh.
The arrangement in our family is that Mom and Pop Green Jeans buy $50 gift cards for all of the children and their spouses.
Oops, excuse me.
Then they usually also buy another gift of about $30, for them. And then everyone buys for only the 2 youngest nephews. Besides, obviously their own children, but they only buy for the 2 youngest ones. So, and we usually just end up getting them McDonald's gift cards because that's what they like. They like going to McDonald's.
You know what? I'll never forget when I was little. We went up the street on New Year's on Christmas Eve.
Jim, you were posting the funniest pictures.
I know. We went up the street on Christmas Eve, and then we came back home, and one of the neighbors had gone in our house and put McDonald's gift certificates on the trees back when they were paper.
No.
Oh my God, that was the neatest thing in the world. And they were all signed like "Love Santa" or something like that.
I don't know. I'm sorry if you're old enough to have your own job. If you're not the head of a household, I don't buy for you. It's your mom and dad's responsibility to get the nieces and nephews presents. I buy for my siblings.
Yeah, we've stopped buying for everybody. We do the what we do is, I don't think we're going up this year, but what we do is everybody buys a gift card.
Right.
Okay. And then they put that on the tree, and everybody can like pick. They rate numbers for them. Everybody gets to pick a number. You get the gift card, and then we do what David was saying. Except the only difference is we don't open the gifts first. That way,
no.
If you want to steal it, you have to take the chance of are you stealing something that's not as good as the one you already picked? You know what I mean? So
very complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one that
it makes it fun, and that way everybody doesn't have to buy a whole round of gifts for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I have the nephews, and all of them have kids, so it just gets really expensive. So
yeah,
I did I don't know if you remember the conversation we had last week.
No.
I did send my parents that one of those walkers.
Oh,
I ordered it yesterday and it was sent out today.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to see if they like it before I buy them the second one. So,
All right.
Is it a 4-point walker or?
yeah,
What is
but it's got 4 wheels.
Oh, okay, the
And
stand up.
it's got the little seat on it, and it's
Yeah.
got hand brakes and a little
Those are supposed to be
basket,
really nice.
little basket on the front. It's cute.
oh my God! Your dad can put your mom on the handlebars.
Yeah, right.
Still have a bell. Remember this?
They can get one. I did buy them I did add, you know how on Amazon you can add something, they give suggestions. I got one, it's got a purse clip for my mom and a coffee cup holder.
Oh, nice.
For their anniversary, you could get the little streamers like they have on the girls' bikes.
Yeah, right. So when they get it, I'm going to say to my dad, I'm going to say, let me know if you like it. If you like it, I'll order. I ordered a blue one because my dad uses it more than my mom does.
Good.
Yeah.
If my mom likes it, then I'll order her the red one. So
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
For each special event, it'll be a pimp out your walker occasion.
well, they used to do that with the
Golf cart.
golf carts. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Do
They
they
used to
still have the golf cart?
No, they gave up the golf cart. They didn't need it
It
because
got towed.
where they live now is like from it's maybe I don't know, like 150 feet from the
Cabana.
where the community center and the pools and all that. So like they're like 3 houses away from it. So they don't really need it anymore.
Oh,
The old place they lived, they used to have to, like, it was like 4 blocks. You know what I mean? They weren't like city blocks, small blocks, but it was still far.
oh, that poor guy. Look at him getting his tongue banged in.
I love all these snowmen.
Were their birthdays, Gavin?
What?
Were their birthdays?
What the hell? Oh, hold on. Yes. Just one. Hold on. Do that.
Now we're back to porn again. A guy getting dick slapped with his face.
The year we celebrate with stupid hats and plastic plates. The fact that you were able to make another trip around the sun. Whole clan gathers round and gifts and laughter do abound. We let out a joyful sound and sing that stupid song. Happy birthday! Now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday! Your life still isn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have 2. 2 birthdays today. It's Gooch's birthday. I'm going to butcher this last name, but Joe Zubia.
Zubia.
Okay, but that's all I got for this coming week.
Oh,
so
yep,
very nice. Well, happy birthday, people.
It was a dry St. Patrick's Day that year.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
That was during Prohibition or
It's
something.
the bad fortune of usually falling somewhere during Lent, so there is that.
Yeah. Suck my carrot. Sorry.
That ain't a button.
It's winter threat.
Has anybody ever seen the Disney movie Frozen?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw it this week.
I love that movie.
I thought it was so cute. I saw it for the first time.
I love the reindeer. He's like the best, the caribou or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, Paul and I are still house hunting. Saw a house today that I swore was basically decorated by Elsa because, no joke, every fucking room in the house was gray.
Gray?
Oh.
And the same color. Yes, unfortunately, you know how the realtors will say, paint everything neutral, like at one time it was paint everything beige.
Yeah.
Now the end color is gray.
Right.
Room to room to room, even the basement was gray.
Oh my God.
Was it a light gray or a dark gray though?
It's a light gray.
Okay.
That's the only saving grace is it's a light gray, but it's like the same damn shade every single room. I looked at this. I said, "Did fucking Elsa own this thing?"
Elf. How do you
I'll start
associate
thinking
gray with
Let
elf?
Go. Huh?
Elsa, Jim. Elsa.
Oh, Elsa.
Uh-huh.
You just said you watched Frozen.
Frozen.
So
Yeah.
brought to mind. It's just like, yeah.
Veritable
Give
Virgo.
them flashback to childhood.
Men.
What'd you say?
Veritable Virgo is posting some pretty men.
Yes, he is.
Thank you, Veve.
And so is Mr. Mike.
Well,
Oh, Mr. Mike's there. What? Oh.
We've
Oh
got-
my. See
I
that-
love
Hello,
it.
Miss
Stephanie posted the. I love it. Olaf is
Oh,
as
8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. Let's do the go to the after show. David, where can we find you?
You can find me at thatbluejeansguy.blogspot.com, also on Twitter and Facebook.
And DJ David, DJ, I almost called you DJ David J. DJ Star Sage, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me and Toppy Smelly as the Earl, along with special guest Cindy, the Flame Dame of the Seder Sphere, in the upcoming special Christmas episode of The Faraway Nearby, coming out shortly. And that's at tfnpodcast.com.
hey.
Say the name again. I cut you off. Sorry. Everybody stop talking.
The Faraway Nearby at tfnpodcast.com.
Okay. Jim, where can we find you?
Back alley.
All righty. Toppy, where can we find you?
You can find me over at thesmellcast.com and all my applicable links, as Kevin would say. And I'm going to have to turn in for the night because I got to work tomorrow. I hope you all have a pleasant rest of the after show. I hope everyone will keep posting porn.
Well, good night, Cinderfella.
All righty.
And you can find all my applicable links at pokeat1.blogspot.com, including any after shows and or the chat room porn is always posted. I'm saving it as we speak, which is why I'm just stretching this out because I got to catch up.
All right.
With the BBDs in the chat room. And after shows, the chat room porn, I usually do a weekly porn of the week, which is what I usually get off to tonight. So
Get off.
I saved that. So that's it. And we will go to an after show as soon as I find there it goes. So everybody say good night.
Good night.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was the thought of something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. Good offers too, who once knew better words, now only you.
Oh, there's a link to the YouTube channel too. Okay.
Okay.
I keep forgetting to say that. Oh, let me get another cocktail. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
No.
Okie dokie.
Uh-huh.
La 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 la.
Jay, remind me I have to tell you something.
Okay.
Who?
I think he said to Jay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Well,
So I keep
He's slurring again, I guess.
So Jay, we'll have to start getting ideas together about where we want to go for lunch that Saturday.
Yeah, a little better planning than last time.
Right? I mean, at least we've got an invite list started.
Yep.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Are any of you guys going to Pride 48 in New Orleans? Or have you thought about it?
I think we're going to try to if we can.
Yeah, Gavin and I, we talked on it briefly today, and I was like, I said, you know, if we turn it into a vacation, we could go there and then hop over to the Parliament Resort and then hop home. You know what I mean? Go the weekend. But the thing is, we've never been to New Orleans, so probably going early and scouting it out.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely sounds more interesting to me than Las Vegas. Vegas really isn't my scene. I I might consider it, but it's also my wedding anniversary weekend, so
Oh,
we'll see how that.
well, you can always have Joey do your vow renewal. Okay, all right. It was an idea. Because you know he would. He'd totally dress up as whatever his drag character is. I can't think of it.
Betsy Carmichael.
Yeah, Betsy Carmichael. Because they did something like that at the last Pride 48 with Babalu and Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just know usually when we go out of state, it involves some sort of a science fiction convention because we like to double dip on our weekends out of town. Fun, but also takes us to a destination. So I don't know. There's a convention in July, which is shortly before that. Depending on if we go to that, there may not be enough in the wallet to do both. But I think isn't Shore Leave around that time or in July, Jay?
Lately, Shore Leave has been moved to August.
Oh,
but, yeah. It used to always be in July, and then a couple of years they've done it in early August.
What is Shore Leave?
It's a science fiction convention.
Oh, okay.
The Baltimore area. But I invited Patrick of the Scream Queens to come join us for that lunch that we're planning, Jay. And he hasn't decided yes or no yet, but I also not sure he knew he was invited.
Oh.
He said he'd try to make it.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do our
You
best
guys
to
wanna-
go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to go. We're probably going to try to make it, a full vacation out of it as well. Besides New Orleans, Paul's youngest sister lives in Petal, Mississippi, which is just basically over the state line from New Orleans. So we would be able to do a little side trip to see her, and that's the two youngest nephews that I was talking about. Those are her kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a good opportunity to see her and them, assuming the asshole husband doesn't veto it for some reason. But we're pretty much committed to going.
Cool.
A lot of it's going to depend on obviously the cost. We did already do some looking at plane tickets, and they're actually pretty cheap right now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange. They actually already have flights planned this far out.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what venue they choose. I mean, I know they've already said as much that it won't be in downtown.
Yeah.
Expensive location for it.
Right.
Oh wow, it is cheap. Oh wait a minute, that's January. Holiday feeling.
I didn't think I had my microphone on.
Now, when you guys do the Christmas karaoke, you're playing the clips that have been sent to you, and do you also have participants on the call, or is it just the clips?
If you want to.
Yeah, it's like a regular show. We just, we just got to remind people that are on the show to be quiet while it's playing.
Gotcha.
Yes.
You're off. What?
I'm way behind on
Porn.
Yeah.
You should never pee.
Right? This is wrong.
The cats are
the most difficult thing is not laughing during some of these songs.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
The holiday feeling.
I don't know. I would love to see Donna Sugars do Hard Candy Christmas.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
Gavin, send her an email.
Yeah.
Do you think with this Pride 48 2018, they'll put less emphasis on the actual live broadcasts, or do you think it'll still be front and center?
I don't know. I think it's still like too far into the planning stage that to.
They got to figure out where they're going to have it first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's is it a good thing to be centered on the live broadcast?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was that idea to begin with, but I honestly think more people would enjoy socializing and doing other things more, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it takes up a lot of time, and and then people get hurt feelings if like there's a big show ahead of yours and a ton of people are there, and then all of a sudden the whole place empties when your show comes up, and you know what I mean?
Maybe it might be an idea to make a suggestion to the committee that, well, maybe one night they do something, not live shows, but maybe like they do a dinner together or something.
Well, they usually do.
Broadcasted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the schedule from the last time they did it was, it basically was kind of a compromise to handle that, because they would only have like so many hour blocks of shows each day. And then they would have 2 or 3 hours in between to break for lunches or pictures or whatever, and then do shows again for so many hours, and then, be off during that time. They also started not opening the hospitality suite while shows were broadcasting.
Yeah.
Because you had some people that were listening from the hospitality suite. And they also eliminated the thing, because actually the one year, 2014, when I had to pull out at the last second, I found out that my show would actually have been the same time as Joe Batance's taco tour. And when I had to pull out, they put Christian Messer in my position, and he was pissed when he found out that he was competing with the taco tour. Excuse me. So that's why the next year they blocked it to where shows go on this time, other events go on this time. There was no mixing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you should kind of. I mean, you can't.
Oh my God, are you all right?
You can't help if somebody says, "Well, I'm going to do this at this time." If anybody wants to come along, and everybody wants to do that, so I mean,
right. It was just they really weren't allowing for lunches or dinners or anything like that unless it was a planned event.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people that, some shows were basically getting the shaft because everyone's got 8.
Yeah.
So it was a good compromise they came up with.
Well, it's hard to organize that many shows in, in a certain amount of time, without something overlapping, you know what I mean? So
what's flapping?
Nobody's laughing.
It would certainly be more simplified if it wasn't a show-driven thing. Also, you wouldn't have to worry about bringing equipment,
right,
or making a schedule or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of people were saying that it would be nice, like even if they didn't do a Pride 48 this year, a lot of people were going to say, "Well, let's all just go to Vegas and hang out," So
yeah,
but they decided to do it, which is good. Now, did they decide it's definitely in New Orleans?
Yeah, it was a
and the dates are set, but like
I think it's the 24th to the 27th or something like that, August.
Yeah, but the venue and all that is not set yet.
No, we're not even sure what the host hotel would be.
Yeah, all they said was that it wouldn't be in downtown because that would be one of the most expensive venues.
Oh yeah,
and that it was August 24th, 7th, I think, and that they're still negotiating the location as far as like any sort of group discount for the rooms or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want to do the cemetery tour.
So do I.
That sounds awesome to me.
The Haunted New Orleans tour.
That would be cool too.
Yeah,
I would definitely be up for that.
Be fine.
Well, let's see how it goes. We'll find out.
Yeah, early, but yeah, it would be nice if I started to feel a little more excited about it after hearing this. The change and everything.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't had a chance. So maybe tomorrow we'll.
What am I?
Hey, Mr. Mike, I got to say on that picture you did of the where everyone's supposed to be giving the guy a facial, you've really got the wrong ends involved.
Yeah, right.
What it's supposed to be is like, you know, the net neutrality thing. It should be the other ends of them taking a dump on the person.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, that's the guy.
No, he's sucking their dick. Is his point?
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the Oh, forgot his face. He's the who is he?
FCC, the head of the.
Oh yeah, the FCC chair.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
That's a pretty good Photoshop.
Yeah, it's not a great Photoshop. The skin tones don't match.
I don't think it was meant to be.
Well, no.
So what's on TV tonight?
You know, the snowflakes will get all upset and end up with lawsuits.
Well, you know, I don't want to be dealing with a system like I think it's Brazil, one of the South American countries, where basically like you do with cable now, you pay for a package of internet. And like say you only want web browsing, it's this much. If you want to access social media, it's going to be this much more. You're only limited to so much per month on this stuff. I mean, this is the thing that people don't realize what's coming.
Yeah. Well, my issue is them giving priority over, you know, somebody that pays them instead of like the small, you know, startup companies that can't afford to. So,
right.
Well,
What the fuck?
what I find interesting is the fact that they let Comcast buy NBC, and then they let Charter buy Time Warner Cable, and now they're telling AOL that if they're going to buy Time Warner Media, they have to get rid of DirecTV. Like, where was the discussion before now? Did nobody give a care before now? Because I mean, what they've already allowed to happen is just as bad as AOL owning, or not AOL, I'm sorry, AT&T owning DirecTV.
Well, the thing is now that those other two companies are, you know, basically have the power now to say, oh no, we don't want them to be catching up with us.
Right.
So eventually this is all going to come down to a, you know, lawsuits of you know, what's the word for it?
Monopoly.
Monopolies. So yeah.
And that's why some of those sell-offs were ordered, because it would basically have been a monopoly.
I mean,
and usually with each of these mergers and these buyouts, there have been some little sell-offs here and there. Like way back when Verizon Wireless bought Alltel, they had to sell off some of the Alltel markets or some of their markets back to Alltel, because I think basically Verizon would have been almost the only provider in that area, or there was some kind of a conflict there where they would have had enough of a monopoly on the market that,
well, the thing is they shouldn't mess with DirecTV too much, because DirecTV is one of the things that are keeping them. If we didn't have DirecTV in my area, Comcast would be a monopoly.
Right.
So they would have to break up. So they should leave DirecTV alone, because if DirecTV like went away, then they would end up losing their shirts, because they would have to break up, because Comcast is the only other option in this area.
Yeah. Where things really started going bad was when we went from regulated monopolies to unregulated.
Yeah.
Right.
And cable was the big one, because it used to be you had to contract with whatever municipality in your area when you say it was Time Warner, when they have a contract with that municipality, and that municipality basically holds them accountable for loss of service, for the channels offered, for all this kind of stuff. I mean, at one time, municipalities used to be able to tell a cable company, I don't want MTV. And there was nothing the cable company really could do about it.
Well, we used it when I first moved here.
It was like that.
We had Maple Shade had its own cable service.
Yeah.
And then Comcast bought it out. So.
Right.
And I was wrong, by the way, a minute ago. We actually do have Verizon in this area, so the internet, they have an internet service.
Oh, okay.
So
you have Verizon Fios?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, the thing with Verizon is I won't go to them because if you don't buy a package from them, and I have no interest in having, cell phone service or landline in my house. So you
know what though, somebody Dennis Hart, the deaf, remember him from the Liberty Bell? Was it him or somebody said they have the the whole pack, they have the package, and without a cell phone it would, like, his cable and internet would be like $200, $250 or something.
That's more than
with the cell phone. It was only $150 for the same thing. So it's like, he has a cell phone, but he never uses it.
Right.
Because you have to use it.
See, but that only lasts 2 years, and then suddenly,
then what happens?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, if you live in an area that was part of the grandfathered old back in the day Ma Bell system, the Bell system, they actually are legally required to allow competition within their boundaries. So Verizon, for example, was part of what used to be Bell Atlantic, and even before then, it was an even smaller company. So your local phone company is required to allow resellers within their territory. So you can go to somebody like Earthlink and you get DSL without having to have Verizon's home phone service package. Verizon won't sell it to you, but the resellers that are in their territories will.
Yeah.
We used to have a landline, and people were amazed because we were paying $12 a month for a landline, but we didn't have any. We had no long distance service.
Oh yeah, no features.
Yeah, we had nothing. It was just basic, and we paid $12 a month. It was perfectly fine, because we had cell phones at the time. Then eventually we just got rid of it because we were like, we never used it.
The damn thing never rang. And we never used it. We had the cell phone.
I think we had it like 2 years that it never, like, the phone never rang.
Yeah.
It was just sitting there on the wall,
That's kind of what I had with, we have Charter here, which it's now known as Spectrum. And same kind of thing. I mean, we had cable internet, and we had to buy the damn landline just to, basically get the cheaper price on it. And I never even connected a phone to it.
Right.
I mean, I probably would have used it if I ever needed to fax something, because my printer can fax stuff, but I never even connected a phone to it because I'd had one at the old apartment, but of course, it went up with everything else, and I just never replaced it.
My parents have a cell phone. It doesn't. There's no internet on it. It's just a cell phone. They get it. They get it through. I think it's ARP. I'm not sure.
Jitterbug?
And it's
isn't that what a jitterbug is?
Yeah, but it's like next to nothing for a month for this thing. It's great.
Yeah, there's Jitterbug, there's Consumer Cellular, and there's one other.
But they love it. I mean, my dad has the internet, so like he goes on there, like he's one of those people. It's like, I don't know, like going to the mailbox. He goes, he sits in front of the computer for like 10 minutes, and then he's done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Your mom always smiles.
I spent about like 12 hours in front of my computer today. So,
but the other funny thing is that your cable company wants you to think that you have to pay them for the level of your service. Like if you want 6 megs or 10 megs or whatever, and they make you think that you're only going to get that if you pay their price. Truth of the matter is, they can only control your service if you're using their modem. If you buy your own, they're locked out.
Oh.
Yeah, but how do you Where do you get your own modem?
Well, you can buy them you can buy them online. You can get them from Best Buy and Walmart.
A modem. The thing with the antennas.
It's what you screw your cable into before you plug the Ethernet into your computer or your router.
Yeah, but Comcasts are they're integrated with the system, so you can't.
Well, they're integrated. They want you to think that you can only use theirs, but you can buy the exact same one that they have at Walmart.
Oh, really?
Unless you have like the home phone service, but they don't want you to think that because then you get a discount on your service because most of the time they're charging you a lease fee to use their box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
But it's just ridiculous because they're getting you at both ends. It's like, oh, if you want 6 megs service or whatever, you got to pay the $60 or whatever. And then, we're not going to give you a discount on that. Out this way, we had Time Warner and it switched to Charter. For the first year, they kept us at the same service level we were paying for. And then after that, they said, no, we're Charter now. So we're going to keep you at the same price. But by the way, we're dropping your speed tier down. If you want to upgrade, you're going to have to pay what we charge our customers now.
So what did you do?
I bought my own modem.
And it worked? No problem.
Yeah, they're locked out. They tried to deny me service, but I pay the bill every month, so they can't.
Oh,
wow.
I mean, I have no problem. I don't think ours is ridiculous. We pay what is it? $175 for cable and internet. So, and I think my speed's fine. For what I do.
Yeah.
If I worked, if it was something to do with my job or something like that, maybe I would have an issue with it, but I don't really have any problems with,
It's just, you compare services here in this country to places overseas, and it's like we're just in the first grade of high school.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that before. There's one city in the United States. I'm not sure. You can look it up. There's one city in the United States that actually has their own internet service. I guess they won a lawsuit because a lot of cities were trying to put in their own internet and make it like a public utility, and the Comcast and those companies were suing them. Well,
oh yeah,
this city won it, and their internet is like even higher than, like 10 times higher than what our like regular services.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to think it's someplace in North Carolina.
I'm not sure.
It was a southern state, I know, that of all places that did it. I mean, a place you wouldn't think of. But yeah, they fought back the monopoly and did that. They were featured on Democracy Now! One time about it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I like Democracy Now! I sometimes have issues with them though. They tend to. It's a long story, but they had one story in particular where she was trying to steer the questions in a direction that the guy she was talking to kept contradicting her and saying, "Well, no, that's not true." And she seemed to be getting pissed off and kind of cut the interview short. And I was kind of like, I'm a little leery of that. So,
okay, Amy Goodman did that, or someone else?
It was Amy. Yeah,
interesting. But
it was when they were talking about Israel and the Palestinians and stuff, and the guy was obviously pro-Palestinian, but he was like, no, it's not that bad. He kept contradicting her, and she was like trying to make it sound like it was like way out there, and he was just like, no, I think you're exaggerating it. So
okay, interesting.
But
I need junk food.
Yeah, I'm ready to call it an evening anyway. So
are you?
Yeah, I gotta go finish laundry and I gotta start baking cookies. I'm part of a cookie exchange on Monday at work.
Ooh.
I gotta smoke pork tomorrow.
Yeah. I got to steam a stir fry. I said this week I'm going to be totally lazy. I just bought frozen vegetables. I'm just going to thaw them out and mix them with a Chinese sauce. I'm done.
The important question is, Jim, do you talk dirty to your pork before you smoke it?
Slap it.
And what kind of rolling papers do you use? But ching.
All right.
Okay, people.
All right,
Oh.
kids.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for all the great porn.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 How do I hang this damn thing up?
Okay, big fatty.